like red letters over trap beats to fix it, saying, ooh. DJ Focus, tell him turn you up, ooh. DJ Focus, tell him turn you up, ooh.
Welcome back. It's your boy DJ Focus. You already know The Fix, your source of faith-infused hip-hop, R&B, and poetry. Listen, exclusive. We backstage with the legend himself, James Fortune. He done tiptoed through the city.
We back, backstage behind the scenes.
Backstage behind the scenes.
Always good to be with you, man. Thank you for having me, bro.
For sure, man. So come on, man. Talk about it, man. This worship live experience, man. Being able to go on tour with Fred Hammond and friends. Just talk about the overall experience.
Yeah, it's been amazing, honestly, to be back on the road with Fred. I've been able to tour with him before, so to be back on the road with one of my favorites, one of the legends, greatest of all time, has been such a blessing. For me, as a gospel music fan, of course I love being able to minister, perform, be a part of it, but also being able to just watch and learn from, artists that I've looked up to for so long, like Dietrich Haddon, like Fred Hammond, like Bashan Mitchell, like Todd Delaney. Everybody has been so awesome to work with and really been a blessing for me. So as a fan and as an artist, man, I've been double blessed with this.
Talk a little bit more about that, because I think that's impactful, especially for some of the young up-and-coming artists. Listen, paying homage, understanding that, listen, it's a community. Speak to that a little bit more. And what has been your experience? Have you been able to start mentoring and kind of, tutor some young up-and-coming artists?
I think for me, it's realizing, first of all, that I'm standing on the shoulders of people like Fred Hammond, John P. Key, Kirk Franklin, and so many others that, I didn't get to where I am. I had them to look up to. I had them to glean from. I had them to, be able to kind of show me the way. Even if they weren't specifically mentoring me from a personal perspective, I was able to watch how they handle themselves on the road, how they handle themselves backstage, and how they, with, supporters and fans and such like that. So it's important, man. And for me, I try to make sure that I pay that same homage back, and give that same type of be that same type of example for other younger artists who are coming up. What I've been able to work really closely with since the beginning, of course, is my pastor. Pastor Mike Jr., who, when I got there 4 years ago, he was just getting ready to release, Big, his first album. And it was just like he always shares, it was a great opportunity for me to be able to say, I know what you may think it looks like, the whole gospel music industry, but this is how it really is. Being that I'm going now and next year will make 20 years of doing this professionally. So, not just having people that I glean from, but also I'm able to share my wisdom with as well.
I hope y'all pay attention to that, because he was already a legend in his own right. And the man said, you know what? Yeah, absolutely. Bless Pastor Mike too as well. Shouts out to Pastor Mike.
He blessed me.
Yeah. He blessed us all.
Right.
Let's be very clear. Hit after hit. Listen, you've been making some hits this year too as well. Come on, talk about some of the music you made this year.
Man, I've been blessed, man. Listen, first of all, in 1 year, how often do you get to drop a song as a gospel artist? One Waka Flocka, also with Monica, Grammy Award winner. So it's been a blessing for me. I always say, man, God continues to exceed my expectations. I don't take anything for granted. We're like still to continue to have #1 songs, #1 album singles at a time. When gospel music is taking a hit, as all music has for the most part. But to still be able to do what I do, and let's be honest, get paid to do it as well. Is a blessing for me and my family. So I'm truly grateful for that.
What's the next level? Because I heard you say gospel music kind of took a hit a little bit, but it seems like you've kept coasting. What do you think the next level, or where do we need to go within the gospel realm?
Man, I think I love the touring. I love the touring option. I think we got to go to the people. The pandemic obviously slowed that down a lot, and we tried to do it virtually, but it just didn't have the same impact. So being able to have these tours that are out right now, there's another big tour that's got announced happening in March. We're coming off this big Maverick tours, Kirk Franklin, all that stuff is happening. I think it's bringing some energy back into gospel music. It's making people come out to concerts again, feel comfortable coming out to concert, paying not just to go to church concerts, but to venues, to venues like that. So I think that's the next level. Continue to go out where the people are. Just keep making great music. I don't know the formula for, what's a hit, what's not a hit. I just think we just do great music, give God the glory, and just let Him do the rest.
You produced, you've written, you've sung, you've done it all. What's that one thing? If you could only pick one, which one would you do?
Oh man, that's a good question. I think ministry. I think ministry. And I think, because I can say writings, I do love to write, but it's watching my
being wet too as well. He being real humble right now. He got a lot of hits out there.
Yeah, that's a blessing. But watching my dad as a pastor, my dad was a pastor.
Yes.
And just watching the impact. He never had a mega church. He didn't have a lot of members, but he just loved people. He loved his members, the few that he had. And so for me, it's being able to see the impact that my ministry has on people. and how people are sharing stories. But man, you don't know how this song, carried me through my divorce, or you don't know how this song carried me through my child's, the death of my child. Those moments mean more than anything else to me.
Come on, talk about this 20-year experience, man, because I don't think people are ready. I've already seen the lineup. Like, come on, talk about it.
I'm gonna be honest. It's gonna be one. I'm gonna say it's gonna be one of the most impactful nights in my life. Because a lot of people don't realize the people who started with me this night celebrate 20 years. So you got Todd Galbert, who started out singing background with me. You got Zacardi Cortez.
Yes.
You got Lisa Noel Smith. Mignon, Deshandra, Josiah, so many others. And then of course Leandria is coming. So many other guests are coming to celebrate. I never thought 20 years ago when I released my first single, You Survive, in 2004 of September, that God would be this good to me for 20 years and that he would allow me to have this type of success for 20 years later. So like I've been telling everybody this, I don't want this to be stressful. I don't need to be uptight. Let's just celebrate. We spend so much time trying to create these moments. Like, let's just allow God to just say, you know what? I just thank God for 20 years. Let's celebrate. Let's have a great time. The gifts are in the room. The gifts going to be in the room. The people, it's almost already sold out. So
already almost sold out.
Yeah, it's not the January 20th, but
wow.
That's just the people that are really, they want to be a part of that night. They've been following my career for a while, and they say, I want to be the night that you just put all. If we doing like it's a lot. It's crazy.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. It's gonna be good.
Listen, one thing you've been able to do successfully is bridge that gap. Where do you think we are when you talk about the gospel being bridged with allow for you to work with, like you say, Waka Flocka, Monica? You can go down the list, and I know you got probably rapport with a lot of just mainstream artists. Where do you think the church is in embracing mainstream artists and bridging that gap and building those relationships?
Yeah, I think it's one of the things that I like is that, like I said, my dad was a pastor, the Baptist pastor. The church, that was like the foundation of our community, So it's like and even though, yes, it was, I think it was probably more strict back then. Just like I gotta go back to my father. He was always with, like, he gonna get the wino. He gonna bring, like, he wasn't judgmental. And I think if we're gonna reach them, we can't reach them from a point of, judgment or we're better than them, because we're not. Man, we're all sinners saved by grace. Like, at the end of the day, like, we're no better. Paul says, like, we were all children of wrath, but like we all needed grace, and so understand that, I think, will help us be able to reach out to them, because our young people need it. They need it. They got their whole coach thing, and it's massive. It's going. Like, the world going to embrace it if we don't. So I think it's time for us to really continue to do that. And what you're doing is major impact. So I thank God for how He's using you and how you're continuing to do that as well.
Absolutely. Listen, tell the people how to connect with you, follow you on all your social media platforms.
Man.
Definitely shout out your event, your 20-year celebration. Tell them where to pull up at.
Shout out my church. We are Rock City. Pastor Mike Jr. is about to pass out of Birmingham, Alabama. January 20th is happening in Rock City, Birmingham, Alabama. James Fortune Fire reunion 20-year anniversary celebration. You can go to thejamesfortune.com for tickets and more information. Thejamesfortune.com. Of course, on Instagram, Twitter is Mr. James Fortune.
DJ Focus out. Fix is in.
I like red letters over trap beats, the fix is in. Ooh, DJ Focus, tell him turn you up. Ooh.